Before we start, guys, please make sure you stay until the end. If you make one common mistake, you may end up spending, guys, thousands of dollars in repairs. Stay with us, we'll explain what it is. Hey guys, welcome back to Auto Repair, guys. Super quick helpful video for any of you having a problem where a Mercedes C Class starter does not work. We're talking about generation W204. Please guys, do not waste any money on parts, diagnostics, tools until you watch that video. It could be simple fix, something that you can do at home, and often you may not even be able to spend any money on replacing starter or anything like that. We'll explain what we see here at the garage. It could be a little bit more complicated as well. We'll talk about that. If you need to buy any replacement parts, tools, we'll share the information in the description of the video below where you can get them from. That way do not waste money and time. So let's start on it now. Before we start, let us tell you a little bit about us, guys. Every single car we get here at the garage, we try to make at least 200 to 300 free repair videos. We make mechanical repair videos, engines, transmissions, bodywork, electrical, engine, transmission codes, fuses. Why we guys do all that? Because our mission here at the garage is, guys, to save you as much money as we can. All we need in return, please subscribe to the channel, like the video. That way we can keep making these free videos. And guys, check out our YouTube channels. We have more than 17,000 free repair videos that can save you thousands of dollars in future repairs. So let's start on it now. So guys, if an engine starter does not work, what do you guys need to do now? Let's go ahead and open the hood. Once we open the hood, okay, I want to show you something. Now, guys, the first thing you want to check if your engine starter does not work will be some very important fuses. You have some hidden ones as well. 9 out of 10 owners do not know about all the hidden fuse boxes in that Mercedes. That's why we made one special video on our YouTube channel that explains, guys. Okay, it's called Mercedes W204 fuse box location and diagram. Check it out. The first thing we want to do is open that fuse box here on the driver's side. Open the two clips, lift the cover up, and underneath you're going to find a fuse box with a layout like this one here. Before we continue, let's explain quickly why it's always a good idea to test fuses and relays. Guys, let's explain why it's super important to test fuses and relays. That way you do not spend money on diagnostics, parts, repairs you may actually not even need. So, guys, you have different kinds of fuses and relays. We're talking about the maxi fuses, standard fuses right here. You have, watch how many different kinds of relays as well. Now, these fuses, sometimes you can clearly see if a fuse is burnt or not by looking at the element. But sometimes it's really sneaky. They can burn here on the side. It's hard to see. Some fuses will not be visible as well. And we had people that will spend thousands of dollars in repairs, replacing modules, even engine computers, when all they had to do, they assumed they had a good fuse. They pulled it out, they saw it, and they assumed it was good. But guys, you can easily test these fuses, and on some of these, most of them, they have even the terminals on top that allows you to check them with a voltmeter and find out if it's good or bad. You see, that's a good fuse. If it's blown, okay, like this one here, it's blown, nothing. Check this thing out, no connection. One next to it, okay, right here, let me get good contact point. That's a good fuse, guys. You can see you can test them. Now, relays are harder to test, but with the voltmeter, fuses are super easy to test. All we have to do is set it on that setting and practically your home resistance setting, and you can find, guys, okay, if it works or not. For instance, that one was the good fuse. You can see it's going to go down to 0 ohms resistance, or you can go ahead, remove it and test it the same way, guys. It should have 0 ohm resistance. Now, relays, guys, are a little bit more complicated, but it's doable. It will take you a minute or two to find out how to do that. Now, we'll put, guys, links to a video that will explain how to test relays, how to test fuses, which battery terminal you need to reconnect and disconnect first if you're doing repairs, because that can cause modules to burn as well, and that can cost you thousands of dollars in repair. Check out the videos, they will be in the description of the video below. So let's start on it now. Guys, here what we need to check multiple fuses, then we need to go to a different fuse box and check some more as well. The first fuse we're talking about is fuse number 1. Right here, you want to check that one, guys, okay? That fuse is very important, guys. You need to check fuse number 6, so that's right here, that fuse, very important fuse as well. Next, you want to check fuse number 7, which is right past it, that 20 amp fuse. After that, you want to check that relay right here, that green relay, that's for engine management as well. Check, guys, after that fuse number 14, that's that fuse right here, 7.5mm fuse. The fuse numbers will be next to the fuses, either the left or the right side. What you want to check next, guys, will be fuse number 25 right here. Check that one. Okay, 27, the very last fuse in the back. Okay, you want to address that one too. And that fuse number 20 is super important. That's for the right here for the ABS and traction control module. If you have problems with the ABS traction control module, okay, it will not let the starter sometimes work too. So guys, now we'll talk about that in a second, but here, let us show you. You have a hidden fuse box. You see where that jump starter terminal is located? That's actually a pre-fuse box. If you take it apart, you have many hidden fuse boxes. Depending on the year, you may have a different fuses inside. That is up to 2010. That's 2010. After 2010 with eco start stop. That's after 2010 without eco start stop. Now, take it apart. Test your fuses here. Something else, guys. Let's talk about it now. Here, guys, okay, if the starter does not work, before you actually get the starter, it could be bad brake light switch. The brake light switch detects if you press the brake pedal. Bad brake light switch can cause your starter not to work. Test your brake light switch. If you want to see how to do that, we have the video on the channel. If you want to see how to replace brake light switch, we have it too. Next, if you have ABS, brake light, traction control light, anything like that, ESP light on the dash, that could indicate having problem with the ABS traction control module, and that can, guys, cause the starter not to work too. Next, it could be a bad starter too. We've seen that happen. If you want to see how to test a starter, it's very easy. We have the video on the channel. But what we see quite often, this is the 12-volt wire coming from the car battery, and you see that little bitty wire here. This is the ignition wire coming from the ignition switch. Having that wire being loose, okay, can cause the starter not to work too, or corroded. Usually you have to have like contact grease there. This one has quite a bit, but we've seen that happen too, guys. Those are some of the most common things we see at the garage. Of course, in some cases it could be you may need to check ignition switch fuses and relays. We have the video on the channel. Test ignition switch and make sure you get communication to the engine starter. If you get communication power to the engine starter, then it's just a bad starter that you will need to replace. In this Mercedes W204, you're going to have all kinds of different fuses and relays that sometimes are hard to find, and if you're in the middle of nowhere, you may have a hard time finding one, guys. Replacement one, you may be stuck. It happened to us. So what we usually do, we buy some spare ones and we put in the glove box for a peace of mind. We'll share a link where you can get them at a really good price, quick shipping. That way you do not waste money and time. That link will be in the description of the video below. Check it out for your convenience. Hopefully, guys, the video will be helpful. Thank you for watching and see you next time.